Hello, everybody. We are
Hi.
back with another episode of the Caranel campaign.
Woohoo.
So,
Woohoo.
before we get into tonight's episode, Andrew, you got any announcements?
I just wanted to announce my love for all of you. That's all I have.
All right.
Not you guys, the
Man,
audience.
what a lame announcement.
Fine, I'm pregnant.
There we go.
All right. And then the other one thing I wanted to go over is just our usual Patreon shout out. You'll get early access to some of the content and all that stuff. You'll get certain Discord access, as well as a access to exclusive merch that we'll be putting on our website, and at the highest tier, a permanent discount on everything. So yeah, you can get some.
I think we have it set at like
cool
15% right now, which that adds up really quickly.
Yep. But yeah, so some cool Patreon stuff that you can get on there. And then other thing that I want to announce is you'll be seeing it a little bit. I'm going to set up a hosting thing for our channel on D-Fourtress. But keep an eye out for Andrew's live streams on his Twitch channel. So I'll put on the hosting for that, so you can see it on the D-Fourtress channel when Andrew's live, and then also when I'm live on my personal thing.
Yeah, we've been recently doing a blind playthrough of Baldur's Gate. We just finished Act 2 and just mind blown. I'm not going to announce anything or anything because I don't want to spoil. But,
Good.
oh man, it was fun.
I'd have
It was
words.
fun.
There's no spoilers at this point, Andrew.
Yeah, there is.
No, there was so
I
many. Are
have
you kidding
zero
me?
content.
It was bombshell after bombshell in the last episode.
Yeah, I get zero content. I'm really good at not
Like I thought I
spoiling
was on
it.
a Top Gear episode, just
And on that
bombshells.
bombshell. All right, but that should be everything. So without further ado, let's go ahead, roll that intro.
I think the cheese
Well,
might
really,
go
ice
really
cream
well
is
on
just-
top of the vanilla ice cream, you know?
If you leave ice cream out long enough, it'll become cheese.
I guess.
Ew, gross.
But I don't think
What
anybody
kind of
wants
specialty
that
cheese is this? Forgotten ice cream.
Forgotten.
Oh, you
dreams.
put it in wax. No, that's just the outer layer.
Just call it a forgotten secret.
So this is what I have to deal with, audience. As soon as we roll the intro, they just start talking about the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, it's our brand now. We have to talk about cheese in this specific campaign.
My
If we
God.
stop,
About
everything will
brands,
go
that
wrong.
one smelled like cheese, Andrew.
So, last we left off, the Oddities had taken on one Eurus, the champion of the Undercabin, the fight club that is headed by Hulda's husband, who is a coach, a licensed coach that can hand out official recommendations to qualify to enter the Grand Colosseum in Corradine. And upon that completion, they finally Badger needed a little bit of consoling just due to the departure of close friends, but upon that they decided to the ship to Eritrude arrived, and they said their goodbyes to Hulda and went on their way. And upon flying, boarding the airship and flying, several minor events occurred. Badger was able to meet the acquaintance of a geologist, a professor of geology from the Crystal Academy, and he recommended to meet someone up in North Peak, a wizard artificer by the name of Raylov, is somebody that could be a person of interest to Badger, that seems to also be a fan of stonecraft and may have some magical applications for such things. Also, Rakos and Ghost were kind enough to make a small steel wire Pax figurine for Badger. Little gift as Rakos treated them to a thing, and I just realized you guys are in the wrong spot. Whoop, whoop, there we go.
I was in the wrong spot for once. That never happens
because you're always the first one to join.
I'm Rakos.
No, you're Sid the Sloth.
I'm Rakos. Must be last one this season. And so, upon arriving finally in Eritrude, the massive sky platform, you went and you saw Jedidiah, the pink tiefling, holding up a sign looking for you guys, and you attempted to sneak up on him, which went horribly. Rakos literally tripping over Badger, leading to a loud metal-infused crash onto the ground, leaving Jedidiah to stand over you. Oh dear! That was quite a tumble. The time is now yours.
Just go.
Jedidiah! Fancy meeting you here.
Yes, that was the agreed upon conditions.
Right, and he's just gonna, like, get up off of Badger. Oh, sorry, Badger. As he steps on your tail, getting up.
Badger is very, very silent, but he is just glaring at Rakos.
Like I said, I'm not good at sneaking, okay?
Or walking.
And he kind of looks between you three. Ah, did the shiny one perish?
Thankfully
And
not.
Badger is going to hold up the bag of coins, shake it, and say, "You know what? We just needed him, and this is more travel friendly."
Ah, you broke him down into coins. I had that happen to a friend once. Huh, some weird magical trap went and just turned him into a gold statue. No way to unpetrify him, so he was melted down.
Pax was definitely worth his weight in gold.
I'm
No,
joking.
he yeah, me too. Okay, great.
Rakos is just like...
And Ghost is just like, good one.
No,
But I am happy to report that there have been no assassination attempts since we last met. That we've noticed.
Except on us.
Welcome to the family, then.
Yes, there was a trapper who was sent after us, but we dealt with him.
Well, I suppose you'll be needing room and board here. We have a hideaway that is owned by the Explorers League, so we can shelter there and provide you room and board, free of charge, of course.
I won't say no to that.
Neither will I. Lead the way.
Of course. And so, make your way to that elevator that leads to the up to the sky platform. And as you make it to the bottom, you step out into Eritrude. Once again, these are tall buildings with sloped roofs, as they do get snow here pretty frequently. And notice, despite the fact that there's not as much snow, it is freezing as the sea mist blows in from the east, from the eastern docks, and chills the whole city. So you notice frost-covered windows. People bundled up really tight.
You know, normally the cold doesn't affect me this much. Ghost, do you happen to have like an extra large coat or something?
I have many furs. You can borrow some.
Ah, thank you.
She has a very big one that fits him just right.
Although the sleeves end like right here on him.
It's more like a fur cloak, because she kind of
Oh, okay.
uses that to sleep on as padding, you know. She just took the witch lady's blanket.
So I'm basically walking around with a quilt.
Kind of, yeah.
Just a fur one.
Just a fur rug.
Oh, yes, that's nice. Thank you.
Would you like one too, Badger?
No, if I get too cold, then we can just snuggle.
Not with me.
No.
Badger turned to look at Raycos.
Remember, I'm taken.
As am I. You're the only ones. You're the only single one here.
New side quest. Find
Hey,
true
Jedidiah,
love.
are you single? Badger's looking.
I put thoughts of that behind me long ago. My love is books and adventure.
That's depressing. But okay. Whatever floats your boat.
I only cry myself to sleep sometimes.
Remind me never to read a book after you.
So he leads you through these kind of winding streets paved with cobblestone. There's carriages being pulled around. Eritrude, as you're looking around, it's like almost like a mini-me of Corridine. It's got the nice paved cobblestone roads with sidewalks. It's very sloped, so there's rises and dips as it crests hills. And off to the east, you can see the vast expanse of the Eskimar Sea stretching out to the northeast.
Seeing as this town has a large shipping port, I imagine there's probably a lot of trading that goes on here.
Oh, yes, the market is bustling. Not quite the selection of Corridine, as a lot of the shipments move their way through here and eventually find their way there. But fair amount of goods make their way here. But if we're being quite honest, given just the positioning, it's more likely that Snowdrift and North Peak get the first pick of the goods, as it were.
Yeah.
Do you, don't you have a gem of some sorts, Badger, that you're looking to sell? Oh, no, that's right. It was in that ring that you had. Never mind. You're using the ring.
Haven't used it yet, but definitely looking forward to not needing it.
I guess, you know, if you don't need it, that's technically a good thing.
Right. And as you guys are walking, you find this... It's honestly kind of a drab building. Just a wooden building. Very basic. Just... It's almost like a box with a roof.
Ah, nice.
Just like... yes. Here is our base of operations here in Eritrude. We spared many expenses. And he opens the door.
Brent goes and kind of glances at Ghost when he says that. And I want to just to do an insight check just to see what her reaction to that statement. That's a nat one. I didn't notice.
We spare all the expenses.
Yes. I got a nat one though, so I just tell you.
You don't need anything to tell. She's just like, I see.
Ew.
So, as you...
Not you as much as unimpressed. Like, you paid that many expenses and you only got this.
as you enter in, the place is packed. You can kind of see it's almost just like this one-story open concept thing. In the back right corner, there's just rows of bunk beds and boxes. There's like a kitchen set up in the corner, but most of the place is taken up by by bookshelves and desks and maps and notes. And as well as there is a central fireplace with a chimney that goes up above it, right in the center.
I like that.
Keeping this place warm. As you enter in, you see... there are several people that you do see that you can assume are other Explorers Guild members.
Mm-hmm.
And however, as you kind of scan the thing, you see off in one corner some familiar faces. You see a tiefling clad in dark leathers, purple skin, her curly hair, a large, muscular Goliath woman with a bear pelt that kind of goes and acts as a hood. A moon elf, the familiar moon elf that you see in this strange, really dense looking armor. Really dense looking armor with almost, it looks like tubing that connects different plates together. And of course the chainmail or the scale mail clad woman with the silver hair and a mask covering the lower half of the face, as you recognize Saris Thorn, Arias Lavend, Isha Stonehide, and Raylene Alberic. The
Layrene. I have it written as Irene.
No, Raylene. It is, yeah.
Raylene.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm dyslexic.
And as you enter,
You know what? It's canon. I'm gonna mispronounce it every
Yeah.
time.
As it happens, you see Isha kind of look over at you guys and just like, no bloody way. And Raylene gets up. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello. It's nice to see you not covered in excrement.
Yeah, that was an experience. And you just see Arias, he's like got a screwdriver to his gauntlet that he's wearing, and then he just pauses and you just hear him, never again. As he's doing it, just like, I didn't realize how many times I'd have to press the digitate to get everything clean.
Get in the nooks and crannies.
Exactly. And Saris remains silent.
Ghost will just do a courtesy nod at her.
And I thought ice cream in my fur was bad.
Yeah, so instead of talking from across the distance, I would turn to Jedidiah and be like, Jedidiah, we do have some very important matters to discuss, but it would probably be best done in private.
Is it regarding the journals?
Yes.
Oh, don't worry. All of us here are working on it.
All right. Well, what I was going to say is that can wait a moment. I want to catch up with these.
Oh, yes,
Catch
of
up with
course.
these, like they're items. I want to catch up with that NPC and that NPC, not that one. It's
Of course.
crazy.
And he's just like, of course, I will give you some space. And he walks like 5 feet away and sits down in a chair.
Right. Small room. We walk over, close the distance. So, what brings you all to Eritrude?
Isha pipes up. Well, there was an assassination on it, so we are hired protection. Apparently, there's some ancient adventurer that needs tracking down, following in his footsteps. Some great treasure or something.
Oh, who's that? So crazy. So crazy. Oh, man. Oh.
Da.
It was really bad actor.
I'm not the... Actually, wait. I have the best at... I have advantage at deception. Thank you, Cloud Rune. I still have a -1, but I can have a -1 times 2. -2.
What's the name of the Goliath again? The Goliath.
Isha.
Isha. Okay. So Lux is gonna get up close to her and say, "Hey Isha, how's my sugar bear doing?"
You see her, she goes, and she's just like, ha! I am doing fantastic.
Met anybody interesting on the road?
Oh, yeah. There was a gentleman that thought to rob us. He is no
And?
longer with us.
Ah.
Such an enthralling story.
Yeah, we had a couple of those as well.
Yes, well, we came here on foot. Would not recommend.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to brag or anything, but we killed a Yeti.
And ate part of it.
We made hamburgers out of it. It was quite delicious. Is that what they were called? What did he call them again?
Sliders.
The little sandwiches. Sliders. Yes.
Eaten anything interesting on your trip?
We didn't really fight anything edible. Serious, there was that one thing that was there was that one thing that was on the path. It was a demon of sorts. Yes? It was called a babao.
Ooh, what's that?
It's a demon, and very...
I mean, I gather that from... Sorry, go ahead.
Very, unpleasant. It weakens you, casts spells to blind and make you afraid, and we tried throwing just about everything at it, but it resisted our physical attacks, and even Arias's lightning didn't do anything. Well, it did, but it seemed to resist it.
Ooh, lightning. Interesting.
There was that, and then, of course, there was also, well, something a bit stranger. Noticed there was quite a bit of elemental activity on our way over.
Like in a particular spot, or just kind of spread throughout?
Spread throughout, which
Interesting.
Usually is a sign of, well, how did you put it, Arias? And Arias kind of goes, high elemental activity usually results in either an aftermath or a prediction of natural disasters. So I'd say bring an
Interesting.
umbrella.
Duly noted. Have you guys seen many demons besides the one, or just the one?
Just the one.
We encountered one as well. It's the first one I've ever seen. It was quite disgusting is the word I would use for it. It's like his whole body was made of teeth and it was vomiting up acid and boots at us.
Sarah's like, more demon.
Sure, but it's dead now. Or gone. It's right. It's not here.
Yes. Not the most powerful demon, but if it gets a drop on you, can cause some serious problems.
Probably more scary than a babao, though.
No.
Ah.
Probably not as scary as the drops they got on themselves in the sewers. Oh, sorry, we weren't talking about that anymore.
Yes, I don't think anything could compare to that. Truly do not recommend doing any sort of sewer jobs.
You know, we were very close to taking that job. We were very close to it. But thanks to Badger, we took the crypt job instead. So thank you, Badger. Even though Ghost almost died.
No problem. I mean, the sewer job was our number 2 choice.
It wasn't almost. But yes.
Well, but it's a good thing you're here. We've been up to our eyes in work here, and so much so that we can't keep up. It's just about killing time to... Well, I guess it was until you got here with the next journal. Ours has already been deciphered, but it didn't really give us a direction.
Oh, you guys found a journal as well?
Yes, ours was in the Black Spire Mountains, but ours was more... It seemed to be a key to a puzzle rather than a direction on where to go, so... Bit of a riddle, but we can discuss that later when we can compile all our notes.
So you guys are finding journals? Okay, cool. I didn't know who was able to talk about it. Yeah, so we have one as well. It was behind a Yeti.
And they go, and Isha's just like... Growing up in a similar environment to you, Reiko's, and hearing those stories, she's like... Like, was it like they say, do they snatch up the children?
Oh, we tried to, but I snatched him up instead and then go shot him in the face.
Respect? Okay, wait, you said you ate him.
Yum, yum.
Yes.
Is that like... I don't know, like...
I don't want to think too much about it. I may or may not have been able to understand him. I with some of my runes, I can understand languages, and I could understand him. So watching Badger
Yeah,
cut him up was a bit...
Isn't eating a Yeti like eating a kobold? Or a satyr?
Kind of, but it tasted really good.
Well,
You just gotta get past the outer layers, you know, like an onion. You peel off the outer layers, get to the good stuff.
not that I am one to judge, but you lot are kind of fucked up. But I mean,
Yeah.
established dominance.
We're
I
called the
guess.
Oddities for a reason.
Sure, yeah, it was for establishing dominance. Yeah.
I was just hungry.
I
Now,
want to know what he tasted like.
Have you all decided on a group name yet?
Oh. Oh, yes. We market ourselves. We are the Singing Willows.
The Singing Willows.
Do you actually
Do you
sing?
guys perform?
And they and they all look at Raylene. Okay.
I knew it.
Maybe my idea for a band didn't catch on.
I like it. I like the name. The Singing Willows.
It's so cute, harmless.
Yes, I thought... Yeah, I thought so too. It was like, it's marketable, but apparently, despite all their stuff, none of these people can play an instrument.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
I
But
know,
have you actually
right?
heard Singing Willows? It's less physical music. And willows are very strong, so I don't see anything wrong with that title.
Singing Willows.
Instead of breaking like other branches, they bend. They adapt.
The Singing Willows.
Arias kind of goes and like clicks his gauntlet, like finishes up with his gauntlet, and you see him kind of open and close the hand. Finally, well, it's actually quite fortunate that you're here, as well, this city's got its hands full. Weird phenomena all over. Guards had their handful, and we counted at least 4 other Heroes Cult parties trying to pick up the slack, but it seems this place can't catch a break. We've got monsters roaming just outside the walls. Some monsters making their way in. The town guard's got its hands full. Now apparently there's some serial killer on the loose.
Ah. Have you heard wind of any contract killers? Hired gun rather than psychopaths just killing aimlessly?
Not that we've seen, but I mean, technically speaking, hired killers might fit under our job description. To an extent.
We had an encounter with one. Someone was hired to take us out, but I may have opened his mind in the wrong way before we could get answers.
Just ghost in the background.
I see. Well, that does not bode well for us. And Ish is just like, meh, it is no big deal. There are many things that want to kill us. What's like a small handful more?
Good point.
It was kind of exciting.
Was
But we will be leaving town soon. We'll be leaving the town soon. We have some personal business to attend to in North Peak.
Oh, we'll be heading up that way eventually as well.
Yes. Really. Do you know what your journal says?
No, not yet. We have not deciphered it. We were going to bring it here to get it deciphered.
And with that, Jedidiah is just like, yes, speaking of which, if you want to hand it over, I can begin, and I'll have it transcribed and decoded in no time. Just give me 3, maybe 4 weeks.
That doesn't sound like no time to me, but alright.
Whoever wrote this had a sense of humor that is just
I'm just impressed that
fascinating.
you can crack it at all.
All the codes are so difficult.
Better than 2 or 3 business months.
Just, well, yes, but you know how it is. You have to be able to speak, have to cross-reference more than 20 languages. Which is why we have allies here. And you would have obviously noticed by now, there's probably like 4 or 5, or there's 5 other Explorers Guild researches.
Mm. Well, let's hand them the book then.
What time of day is it?
You guys
Probably midday.
got there kind of in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, by the way, we go by the Oddities now. I didn't say that. You guys gave us your name. Our name is the Oddities. Officially having met. And so on and so forth.
Well, that suits you to a T. Speaking of oddities, where's the eye candy?
In some kind of weird portal saving time or something.
Yeah, the name fits.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly we might see him again in 2 to 3 business months, but we'll see.
What is a business month?
I don't know.
It's a length of time.
Yes, but exactly how much, who knows? Do they count weekends? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
But yes. So currently we're, maybe we'll do tryouts or something if one of you wants to defect and come to our group. Nah, I'm just kidding. However, my betting partner, he's currently in said time portal. How about we say, if you guys are looking for journals, we're looking for journals. Why not make a fun little bet out of it? 50 gold to the party who gets the next one.
Only 50 gold?
All right, 100.
And you see Raylene. No. This is a thing. This is about treasure. Nah, I say we do something more interesting. When we find out where to look for the next journal, the first group to find it gets to choose a magic item from the other party of their choice.
I like the sound of that. What do you guys think? Easy
It's on.
pickings.
It's on.
And if we meet at said location, no limits. We can attack each other. Obviously, don't kill each other. I mean, that will ruin it.
Arias kind of goes, he's like, That's a bad idea because we don't know what's in there. We don't want to be fighting each other and then something that actually wants to kill us comes out of the woodwork.
All right, we clear it out, and if we're both there together,
We
I'll
arm
just
wrestle
knock you
over
out
it.
to take it.
How about this? How about this? First person to deliver it to the Explorers Guild gets it.
Delivered to the Explorers Guild.
Which means...
Chances to snatch it back.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
However, that being said, we do have prior engagements here before we can focus on anything along the likes of that.
Well,
so,
I mean, you heard him. It's going to be several weeks before we can...
Yes,
do
several
anything.
weeks for that. You guys have to go to North Peak. So, 2 weeks before we start looking, and then if you catch wind, whoever goes, goes.
And you see Saris is like, I have a way to contact you if we get the information first.
Sounds like fun. Magic item of your choice, and 100 gold. Gold is always included in the treasure.
We'll just take what you have and sell it for gold.
I want 100 gold from you and your magic item.
Raylene kind of tilts her head. You've got yourself a deal, sir.
Grab the hand. Oh, this will be fun.
And there's kind of like a chuckle among them, and then Raylene's like, so did anything else crazy happen to you guys? Like, so you fought a Yeti and stuff like that? Like that was where you found the journal, right? It's like
Yes.
yeah, where was it?
In an under snow fortress.
An old one.
Oh.
It was like completely covered in the snowfields.
It was in the Herald and Snowfields.
Yeah.
Ours was deep within the mountains. We found this like weird like insect monster colony thing we had to fight our way through. And then there was this weird crystal thing that they were all worshipping, and then we were getting swarmed. We found the journal, and then we decided to run, but then things got a little out of hand.
We did technically find, I guess, the other journal, but that's also where we found Jedidiah. There was a snow witch lady with a bunch of gnolls.
I burned her face off.
Yes. I didn't expect the big one to fall quite so easily.
Oh yeah,
That's
we had to
easily.
blow up the cave system that we were in. We blew up that crystal. I got caught
And
in
they were worshipping it.
Yeah, I got caught in the explosion, but I can do this now. And then you see her flick her hand, and you see this bright pink dagger of energy just appear in her hands. So
That's a neat little trick.
I know, right? So, moral of the story, if you have to blow something up, stand in the explosion. You get superpowers.
Right.
Ghost glances at Reikos for calling the coffin and the tent.
So for player reference, she's a soul knife.
Yeah.
And you see Arias, he's just like, I believe it was some sort of a lithid relic.
Interesting. We did encounter a possible vampire, but we didn't dare wake it up.
Yet.
Yet, but we know where to find it when we do want to go back and loot it.
Yes, well, probably for the best.
Who knows, maybe 2 to 3 business months we'll be ready.
They laugh, and then so you continue swapping stories of the things that you guys faced and everything. And then you see Arias kind of take out his watch, take out a pocket watch, put it back under. It seems that it's time for us to go.
Wait, one final thing before you leave. If you encounter them, be wary of the mask that they wear. The Iron Souls are not as friendly as they seem.
Iron Souls.
Keep them at a good distance from you. There's something. I don't quite know what's going on, but there is something going on with them. And it's related to all of this.
Noted. Well,
Especially the one Alexander, their leader. He's quite cunning. Walks around with the demon.
I see. And we will be as cautious as we can. But you mentioned gnolls. That's what we're off to go hunt. Pack of gnolls invading some of the farmland in the west. So, time to go exterminating.
I would recommend investing in nose plugs. They stink almost as bad as the sewers.
Of course they do. And one by one, they filter out, and Saris gives Ghost her signature suspicious glance before leaving.
I like them. And then once they leave, are we gonna lose a magic item in 100 gold?
Possibly.
No.
We got this.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said possibly. I'm being optimistic.
But do you guys think we should possibly look out for potential additions to the group now that the other two are gone? Or should we stay the three of us for now?
We could really use a healer.
We could.
Yes, yes. Honestly, that's one of my biggest worries with Pax being gone. We're gonna have to invest a lot into the proper potions. But I would say maybe just keep our eyes out. If an opportunity presents itself, just roll with it. Especially when it comes to deals with potions.
Right.
That being said, our coffer is kind of low to to lose that bet there. So,
But the nice thing is if we do land this job with the ship, and if we get there safely, that is potentially 2,700 gold.
It is.
Which is a lot.
It is.
I could create a full suit of plate armor with that. And have extra left over to almost create a whole nether.
Oh! Jedidiah kind of goes, yes, I just remembered. There was something left here for you. A mysterious hooded man dropped it off. Not suspicious at all. And he picks it up, and there's a letter, and it says, you recognize the handwriting, Ghost.
And she'll immediately like snatch it and start reading it.
It's an address.
You two will see her grin. Ah, I see. We're going to be paying someone a little visit.
And is that someone who I think it is?
Maybe. It's about
Oh,
time.
this. Well, I'm excited. Like right now, or when?
It just
I'm
an
not dressed
address.
Jedidiah is just like, I am going to be here a while. I know this is underwhelming, but I do have to decipher what this is.
Right. Also, I was going to ask you. I did get a bit of information from them, but I was also wondering, have you had anything of note happen to you since we last saw you?
Well, no. I arrived here in the city and it's been quiet and we've just been trying to see while we are waiting if we can find a pattern as to where these journals are leading us, but they seem to be random at the moment.
The basic information that we've gathered so far is someone is tracking us, specifically us. They were hired to kill us. Not exactly sure who. The Iron Souls in some way are involved with this, but I haven't figured out if it's through hired work or their own agenda, or I have no idea. But just keep an eye out. If you see wealthy businessmen, Badger, what was the man's name?
That is a great question. What was the guy's name again?
God.
Badger would know.
Last name Marigold.
We're talking about Marigold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Marigold.
So if you see the likes of him, just be cautious. Who knows what he's up to?
Right. I mean, you could say that about anybody, really. You don't know what they're up to. We're up to stuff. We're suspicious of somebody, I assume.
Eh.
But we'll just be the first to find it. Ha
Hopefully.
And with that, he goes and he turns his chair around. He's like, I am glad that you are safe, but I fear I must apologize. I get the sense that you were expecting something more. But
Just kind of like a step to the next journal, but it makes sense. You have to decipher.
yes.
Because that's where the next step is.
But there is no shortage of work for you. Anywhere, really. This city is in strange times. I think there might be... well, there's something in the air. Something's changing. But you are welcome
How
to...
so?
Well, you heard them. Monsters acting crazy.
Elementals.
Elementals foreshadowing natural disasters. And apparently we have competition when it comes to finding these journals.
Who doesn't love a little competition, though?
I'm not talking between you. Talking about the assassination of my colleague.
Ah.
It's safe to assume that he was killed for the journal, but he lended it to me instead.
Yes, and if you catch wind of any of that, just let us know and we'll do our best to help.
Believe me, if somebody is murdered, I will let you know.
Good. All right. Well, should we go to this mysterious follower, or is there other things that need to be done?
I must continue my work.
Oh no, I'm talking to those two. You're good to go. Thank you for showing us this place.
Of course.
Well, should we see a man about a boat?
I was thinking we should probably conclude all of our other business here in the city before we do that boat. Because once we take that, we then have to hijack said boat and bring it over 100 miles away. And that's going to garner a lot of attention, I would assume. So if we're going, or when we do that, that should be after we've resolved other potential jobs and issues.
Would be a good idea.
So you want to look for other work here in the city before we go do that?
Well, there's the matter of Siva's daughter. There's this mysterious note that...
Once again, as I was saying, Siva's daughter is not in Eritrude.
No. She was up to the north.
Yeah. She was.
Yeah.
She's
That
somewhere
we were talking about taking
in
we were talking
Cape
about
White.
taking the boat.
Yeah, she's somewhere up in
Okay.
Cape White Spire.
We're talking about
Okay.
stealing the
I don't
boat,
have that
going
written
over there and getting her, and then going back with the stolen
For like the third time since we talked about it, Andrew.
I probably asked 7 more times.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's our most important thing. I thought so.
Oh, yes, 100%. I agree. It is the
I don't
most
feel like we
important
should-
thing.
I don't feel that we should have any side tasks. We should get on that because there's no telling how long she'll still be safe.
As far as the gnome? Or the daughter in the Cape?
Daughter.
He did say that she's very well off. She just might need some help.
It was for a favor, not any kind of profit.
Right.
Make some money on the way. Ships ahoy.
Right. Well, I mean, the ship. I agree that is a good thing, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to see what is here in the city.
Sure.
Because as far as the gnome, like you said, for I don't remember the exact reasons that he said, but he said that they wouldn't kill the gnome. So there's, as far as getting him, they've had him for weeks. There's no real rush to get in there as early as today, kind of a thing. Like, obviously, it needs to be done soon, but wouldn't hurt to look around just to see if there's other things going on. Also, I do not like the sound of there being some psychopath around, and I would not mind putting an end to a psychopath who is just killing.
Let's go kill him.
Who knows? Maybe there's a bounty on his head, and we can win on the moral high ground, and we can win on in the coffers.
Did anybody mention what he looked like?
No. Just that he was here.
So nobody spotted him. They've just seen what he's done.
Right. So I'm sure we can check him with either some kind of sheriff's office or wanted boards or things of the like.
Well, let's go find out if there's some tasks people need completed. Some extra muscle for hire.
Shovel some roofs, you know.
Once again, as the Singing Willows stated, there's a bunch of heroes call jobs that are around.
Yeah.
Because the city guard cannot keep up with it.
Yeah. Let's go to wherever the job board is.
Which would be at City Hall.
City Hall.
Now, do we want to, at this point, nothing is absolutely pressing. Do we want to go there first, or do we want to go to that address, Ghost?
We can do whichever.
All right, Badger, which one do we do first? City Hall or the mysterious address?
Heads or tails?
Heads to City Hall.
City Hall it is.
All right, we're going to City Hall.
Alrighty. So, as you head out and depart for City Hall, step back out onto the streets, we're going to take a bit of an early break so we can get into the real meat of the episode later. So, be back in about 15 minutes. So, for player reference, be back at about 6:25, and we'll just continue right there.
Nice.
Right. Be back in just a few. right, so we are back. As you step out onto the streets of Eritrude, the cold, icy wind greets you. Asking for directions, you eventually manage to find City Hall.
Okay, look at the job posting board.
Yeah. So you head up to here. It's inside the building. And inside the building, you actually see that there is a separate... you see the job posting board, and there is an actual official kiosk for Heroes Call.
Kiosk.
Oh.
With, and in this kiosk, you see a old gray-furred minotaur woman with these big round spectacles, just flipping through a book, waiting for, basically just waiting for someone to allow her to do her job. Passing the time.
Yeah, walk up to it. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
We were here to inquire about job postings.
Of course. Everything you see is on the board.
For Heroes Call, I see the little sign here.
Yes.
Is there any kind of or I guess you could say we're not from around here. Is there any that you would call quite lucrative or interesting or more pressing within the city?
Well, everything on the board has been filtered. And, well, we've put a stop to people hanging up their own random odd jobs, so everything on there is something befitting of mercenaries. Usually dangerous.
Right. Well, Badger, how about we take a look?
Sounds good to me. What pays the most?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation check.
Can I give him the assist because I'm also looking at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Advantage.
Investigation. Check with advantage. Holy crap, that was bad. 10!
10?
Oh boy.
It takes you a little bit, but it takes you a little bit. The DC wasn't terribly high to find like some of the higher up ones. But the one that seems to catch your eye is a help wanted for the city guard in tracking down helping with the murder investigation. As there's also one to go outside of the city to hunt down some raging elementals that are ravaging some of the farms to the north of the city. And then there is also a missing person. The drawing of the photo of the missing person you see is a younger human woman, probably early to mid-20s. And, yeah, so missing person. Her name is Isabella. It started with Q. Isabella Quintus.
Isabella.
but it does have a note where it could possibly be linked to the series of murders.
Snag 'em
Maybe
both.
one will lead to the other. Well, what's the gold value on the 3?
The missing person is a value of 800 gold.
Whew.
The killer is 500 gold. And then the elementals, clearing out the elementals is another 500.
Okay.
Oh, I think we just got 1,800 gold richer. In
Right.
the future.
Well, I mean, who's to say if it is possibly linked to it? Maybe if we take up looking with the investigation of the murders, maybe it will lead to the other job. And if not, we can... Well, it doesn't hurt to take both on the off chance that they're related.
Sure. And I'm assuming that it has a link to who we need to go talk to about it.
Yes, the missing person
A link.
and yeah,
No, I mean like
yeah,
a connection, a note.
You just gotta click on the hyperlink.
hyperlink. No, it's on the yeah, both the.
It's not a tablet.
Everything is pretty much. Although all 3 of those jobs are go talk to the head of the city guard.
All 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's basically the one divvying out the workload for everything, including the which ones are the town guard taking care of, which ones need mercenary help, because this is this mercenary work that you're seeing. It kind of has to state who it's posted by, and the missing person, the murderer, and the elementals are posted by the city watch because they are short-manned. Because they're short-manned, and so basically the city is paying the mercenaries for this.
Oh, okay. And one thing I was thinking, if we were to do these jobs, we could use it to fund resources to pay for our other job as well. Do either of you know how to man a boat? I don't.
Definitely would have to
No.
hire someone.
Right. And so in order to do that, we would need money as well.
Okay.
So if we were to do these jobs, we could use that as a means to pay for that, and also we could invest in some more potions as well.
I wonder if Pax know how to handle a boat.
Probably not.
We would have just been in the dark the whole time.
Yeah. Because there is the option of sinking the ship, but I would rather deliver it and get more money. But I would be more of a helping hand as long as I'm guided how to do it. I couldn't tell you the first thing on how to sail a ship. I've driven carts my whole life, but I've never been on a ship.
I've been on one once or twice, but never to learn how to steer.
Unless we get a flock of seahorses or something, I don't think I could be helpful.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? You just have a wheel and you go right to go right, and you turn left to go left, you know?
No. There's a lot more intricacies to that. Plus, even if we did know how to do it, I don't know if we'd be able to do it just the 3 of us. Also, it depends on how large the ship is, because if it's just a small boat, then sure, it could be more simple, but if it's a large one, then we'll need a larger crew as well.
Right.
We could handle a sloop.
But whoever we hire, it's not the most straightforward work, I guess you could say, so we'd have to be picky on who we hire.
Makes sense. Well, we can find out when we've got the money to burn, I guess.
Right.
Uh,
So, should we go talk to the city guard?
As you guys are discussing this, you hear a commotion coming from outside. It seems a crowd of people are gathering. And you're noticing some of the guards here in City Hall are rushing out the front door.
Let's rush to go help. The guards are on it. We should be nearby.
Let's
Yep,
go.
go out and what do we see?
As you step out, you see a crowd of people shouting, some with signs, just shouting and bellowing in your general direction at the building. Guards kind of posted as a deterrent to keep them back. Hearing things just like, "What we supposed to do, eh? Whole city's gone to hell in a handbasket." Going, hear another voice come out. "People are dropping like flies out here, and you're just up there in your comfortable little office." And the one thing that you also notice is kind of as you've been going through, the mood of the people around you has been a little dour. When Jedidiah said the city has been facing some troubles, it seems that the people are really feeling it. This isn't... The city does not have a very good wall like Rhymevale and Coradine. It kind of just spreads out into the surrounding farmlands. These people are shouting, and behind you, you hear some shuffling. You see some armor-clad individuals, not a city guard, but they look more like bodyguards. And you know, one of them is wearing this like copper-colored full plate armor, and in front of him, he seems to be conversing with a man as they're kind of walking through towards the front door. You see a dwarven man with short blonde hair that is well groomed, and a very short, well-kept beard with flecks of gray in both. And the large armored man that you can just barely make out through the visor of his helmet seems to be orcish. You can kind of see the tusks a little bit. "I would advise against it, sir. They'll eat you alive out there." "What am I supposed to do? Wait here inside? Let them worry and fear? I have to say something. I don't think there's any way this ends well." "Well, then if it's not going to end well either way, we may as well take the honest approach."
Excuse me.
"What? I have to... What? What do you need?"
If this has to do with the murders, we are here to help take up the job for that.
Yes. Fine. Go talk to the captain of the guard. And he shuffles past you. And
What I mean, use it as a way to ease their troubles a bit. There's someone here to help. It's not about the money, it's about a means to an end.
He doesn't say anything as he walks past you. And as he steps out, the crowd kind of erupts and all that stuff. And the guards, the city guard, actually have to, like, tilt their spears to make, like, a barrier to keep people from rushing past. Puts his hands up. And you hear his voice get magically amplified. Calm yourselves! I know that you are hurting and you are afraid. More than afraid, you can't even keep bloody monsters out the streets! There were 4 people massacred by some beasts right on the outskirts of town. And your bloody guard couldn't keep it out. Yes. I am aware. I am having words with the President to be able to send reinforcements from Corodine to help buffer our defenses. Words not enough, you pig! I understand. In the meantime, taking matters into our own hands. Project Hero's Call is helping shore up our defenses. We have mercenaries helping our guard where it needs. What happened to the rest of the bloody guard? Why suddenly we don't have enough? As I said in my previous public announcement, that is classified. Once it is safe to do so, all the details will be revealed. And with that, the crowd is just not waning. Do you guys do anything?
No, Badger's quiet.
Rekos will kind of look at you two and just kind of get the general vibe from, so you're being quiet. What is the vibe of Ghost?
I'm gonna make you roll for that.
Okay. $16 on insight.
Mine is... Yeah, you're good. Okay. So, you know, there's that general look of just nothing really, but there's also, like, sympathy and a little bit of concern as well. And she's just kind of contemplative about it.
Badger speaks up. If they're having such problems with things coming and attacking and whatnot, why don't they put a task force together to actually build a wall like the other cities?
You can't build a wall until you have things out enough to build it. And they already have their task forces spread too thin.
How far away is he? Because we're like on the front steps of the town hall, right?
You guys would be like just inside the front door. And
Okay.
the big armored orc is standing just behind him, and he is glancing back at you guys very often. Glancing back at you guys, making sure you guys don't make a move from behind.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
You hear one lady shout out, "My husband's part of the guard that's been missing. Where is he?" Like I said, I cannot give any information without putting lives at risk. I promise all will be revealed in time. Yeah, your promises ain't done shit for us yet. Look. We have fallen on hard times. But we've endured worse before. 10 years ago, we faced a coup. We can face off a bloody dragon plot. We can weather whatever storm this is. We have mercenaries and the town's best and brightest working on getting to the bottom of this matter to see if there's even some sort of correlation. Make no mistake, Eritrude. I believe that this is deliberate. I will not deceive you of that. But we are trying. And we will succeed. We will endure.
I think with that, I would kind of step forward out onto the steps. Just kind of
the orc would
look
be
over
like,
the crowd.
Yeah. The orc would kind of like shoot you a look. And you see him, you see a flail at his side. And you see him just rest his hand on the butt of the handle just in case. But doesn't really do anything to stop you.
You just kind of look at him and just like nod, and then just face the crowd. Mission. We come from Project Heroes Call. We are the Oddities, and we are here to help. You may not know us, but soon you will. And although we may be a small group, we will do our best to ease your burdens. We honestly wish to help.
Okay. Roll just a... I don't think it would be a persuasion roll with that, honestly. I'd say roll an insight. Just to kind of see how the crowd's reacting to you.
That's an out one.
You've never been in front of this many people before, and it's making you nervous.
Oh, 100%.
And so you can't get the... You can't get the... Yeah, you can't really pick up on the thing. There's so many mixed emotions that are running through this crowd.
Badger's gonna quickly climb up on top of Reikos so that he can be seen by everybody.
Ghost will stand next to him.
And the mayor will take this. Oh, you were about to do something. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna stand up and be like, and basically, so what is it that you want done first? We're a small group, but let's hear your voices. And what would you like done first? And we will go and do it for you.
The bloody monsters out in the farmlands, ripping up apart livestock. If this keeps up, we're gonna starve. There's that. You hear somebody? Yeah. What about that murderer? Butchered an entire clergy. 17 priests and priestess, all slaughtered. There's people.
Crowd just sorry.
Yeah. It's just like thieves and bandits running amok through the streets. And so you're getting all these different things, and then the mayor kind of just like, enough! Eritrude. All of these matters need to be addressed. You are correct. We will find the root of this evil and cut it off at the source. But in the meantime, I ask that you stay strong. And I also ask that you help take matters into your own hands as well. If it is within your means to do so, arm yourselves. Protect the ones close to you. We will weather this storm.
Among us three, we only have 6 eyes and 6 ears. But among the town, there's thousands. If any of you have seen or heard anything leads to whatever may be causing the chaos, ties to the murder, anything like that, don't be afraid to speak up. Come find us. We'll see what we can do. Like I said, we want to help.
And with that, the crowd kind of seems to go, please, return to your homes, or your places of work, or wherever you are needed. During this time, the one thing we cannot afford is for this city to stop functioning. I will spend every resource I have at my disposal to see this through. Damn any red tape that stopped me. And with that, he turns around and goes back inside, his bodyguards following him. The crowd kind of, some of them still remain, but a lot of them seem to shuffle off.
Kind of interesting that all these murders happen to clergy and priestesses. So it's a religious set of murders. I didn't get that from the announcement. Job description.
As the crowd kind of disperses, Greg goes to be kind of like almost like out of breath a little bit. And he's just like under his breath, like, "Thank you for the support. That was honestly terrifying."
Just to like pat him on the arm.
I've never spoken in front of that many people before.
You get used to it over time. It's what comes with being in a mercenary guild like this.
I mean, but how can you not be moved by that? I mean, yes, we're adventurers. We make money off this, but I genuinely feel a desire to help these people. And we just barely learned of this minutes ago.
I do feel a desire to help. The difference is I want to help enough that if I had to speak in front of many people, I would. Because I have to make a difference. I have to help. It's not as scary when you're too busy thinking about what you need to do.
I was terrified.
I could tell, but you did great.
So what do you guys think? Murders first or elementals?
Hmm. I think someone might be able to help. It would take diverting him from his current mission, but I think that's fine.
And as you guys are discussing this, the full-plated orc kind of walks up to you. Mayor Iceblood would like to offer his thanks for your support.
It is willfully given.
Good.
Where was this church where all of these religious members were murdered?
You'll want to find Commander Erickson. He's compiled all the evidence.
Okay, looks like let's go talk with him, and maybe he'll have an idea of what we need to do first, or what he would like done first. Okay, head to the commander station.
Right. So, the City Watch headquarters, not far from City Hall. Just a couple blocks. And inside, you see temporary holding cells that are full, are pretty full, almost overcrowded, with like bandit types, rough and tumble bandit types. Around, you see more mercenaries than actual City Watch. And you see kind of directing a few people. You see this half-elven man, kind of caramel-colored skin, well-groomed black hair, slicked back, kept short, wearing this solid steel armor. As he goes, right. Okay, I need you three. Take that mercenary band that helped you with this. Head down to the southwest, scout that area, see if there's any activities of any sort of magical sources, and take out any threats you find along the way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they depart. Yes, may I help you?
We are come from Project Heroes Call and wish to help.
Oh, thank the gods. Short-manned, as it is now.
Particularly help with the murders and missing persons and the elementals.
Right. It's barely enough to keep order in the city, and... well, and he looks over the holding cells. Got our hands full with just the more petty of things, but we can't exactly ignore them.
Things get bad, the lower criminals tend to get a little bit more bold.
Exactly.
My life.
Exactly.
Well, which of these three tasks would you say needs more attention right now?
Couldn't tell you. The murderer leaves his calling card, and you see him pull out a file and flip it, kind of flip it open. and you see you see these drawings and these sketches of a four-fingered bloody hand stain. This is left at each of the scenes. And it's... well, seems that he doesn't discriminate on targets. Most of the time there's an MO. But butchered a church. Found there was a small tent city on the outskirts. Ghost town now. He's up to 54 confirmed kills.
How often?
I think
He's the most prolific serial killer in the city's history.
How often have these murders been happening? What's the spacing between them?
We're finding at least one a week. But there's so much ground we have to cover. Sometimes they've been dead for hours and sometimes dead for over a day.
I know if it were me in my home, I would be more fearful of the target within the walls compared to the one from the outside breaking in. I think the first thing to ease the city is to make them feel safe in their own homes.
Yeah, I agree. Where was his first attack? His first murder?
First one. Small home in the southwestern suburbs. Family of 3, all dead.
How do the killings occur? Are they the same or are they different?
Seems to be a bladed weapon. Butchered, cut up, dismembered, disemboweled.
Any footprints or, other than the four-fingered handprint, anything else discovered at the scene? Scenes?
None that led us anywhere. As of yet, at least.
The family of 3, what was their race?
Human.
And the clergyman?
All mixed. Elves, humans, dwarves. Tabaxi.
And you said that you haven't been able to find an MO. Are we aware if the family was a member of the church that the clergy performed at?
We couldn't find any religious memorabilia, but there were signs of the house being ransacked. So, that is a possibility that hasn't been ruled out.
Has anybody spoken to their neighbors yet?
They had just moved in. Been in their new home less than a week.
So they're not from the city?
No.
So someone's killing.
But
all
if
sorts.
it helps,
Is it on
the
specific days of the week that the killings occur? You said it was like roughly once a week.
no. It's more accurate to put it. We find usually about one victim a week.
There might
But all
be
the
more.
clergymen were at once.
Yes.
Now that one baffles me. How did none of them get out? How did they all? Was there a struggle? Were they unconscious? Like, Investigating the scene, what did you see?
Are you sure you want to see?
It's not about wants, it's about needs. We need to see.
It's the most recent crime scene. Still an active crime scene. I can take you there.
Lead the way.
And so he escorts you down several streets. And you see eventually a small chapel comes into view. And you notice a symbol on there. The symbol is a gavel that is fashioned into a scale.
Do any of us know what that is?
Religion check?
Yeah, you can do a religion check.
Yeah. I'll do a religion check too. 'Cause I'm
Holy crap!
proficient.
Let's get these low
7.
rolls out of the way. 4! Woohoo!
17.
18.
Okay, good.
You guys would recognize this as a chapel to Sivalius, the goddess of justice, honor, and order. And so as you approach the doors, there's guards standing outside of it, and it seems that people are avoiding this building like the plague.
For good reason.
And he's just like, he steps up to the door. Brace yourselves. Opens the door. And inside, the smell of death just blasts you. I need you guys to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Since we were preparing for ourselves, is it an advantage?
No,
Okay.
not with this.
Dirty
No.
20.
19.
15.
Right. You all manage to keep from retching at the sight before you. You notice broken pews, dismembered limbs, and the statue of a depiction of the goddess herself. A woman with a woman wearing a judiciary robes, an iron mask, a hammer, a gavel in one hand and the scale in the other. The statue defiled by one of the priests, strung up and hanging from a noose made of his own intestines. And the face of the mask, the four-fingered. So, you said it's a religious MO, and I'm inclined to agree as of yet, but... It's hard to draw that conclusion, but that does seem where it's pointing.
Because this just does not seem random.
This could be that the other victims worshipped her.
That is the case, then... That terrifies me. Sivalius has a direct rival. Belleroth, god of cruelty, murder, violence,
Chaos.
His worship has been banned in this country for centuries. And he still somehow manages to find followers. This is some sort of sick form of worship.
The biggest enemy of order is chaos.
It's less about the chaos and more about the justice. Because chaos isn't Belarath's domain. Cannibalism, murder, butchery. It definitely is.
So with all of this blood and gore, I mean, would we be able to spot any footprints leading away from the scene?
Make an investigation check.
And then I want to be checking for, was there a struggle or does it look like put to sleep?
It's almost a 19 plus 2. I got a 5.
Not that you can find. Rakos, make a medicine check.
That is a crit.
For a total of?
23.
Nice.
Okay. As you're kind of looking around, it seems that it's hard to tell because it looks like they've been posed after death. And as a result, their blood and limbs are everywhere.
Hard to tell if there was a struggle because all of the bodies were moved and manipulated.
There's broken there's broken things, but just given the nature of it, it's hard to tell if it was broken during or after.
Their bodies like in shapes of letters or things like that? Is there like
Roger.
a message?
You should probably get up on Reikos' shoulder to see if you can spot a pattern.
Yes, come on up.
Okay, climb up and from the higher view, try and see if there's a pattern that I can notice, whether it's words or...
Make an investigation check.
Tactically, I'm helping him.
Yes, but with what he's trying to do, with what
Dirty
is
20.
yeah, with what is possible
Oh,
to
nice.
decipher, there's no way you could help with this.
Yeah.
Okay, dirty 20. Now with that, there does seem to be some sort of pattern that doesn't spell out anything. Make an Arcana check now.
It's just a smiley face.
Let's go, Brandon. What? I got a 10.
10.
10.
You understand that it's a pattern, but you don't know the pattern's nature. But from that vantage point, you notice that the hanging man is the center point, and spreading out from the statue, it's symmetrical.
Well, there's a pattern, guys. I can't figure it out. But it's symmetrical from him up there. Wonder if it would be easier if one of us or all of us got up at a higher point. and
Is there a
looked at it from
second
the
story?
Nope. It's basically, you walk in, it's the chapel. That's all there is to
But
this
you
building.
said he's hanging from the statue, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Can I try and climb up to the top of the statue and look from the center point, the focal point?
You can, but it's the you get the same thing. There's no with investigation. The pattern is you recognize that there's a pattern and it's like symmetrical, but what the pattern means is what you failed to decipher.
Can one of
Ghost,
you two figure this out?
If you want, I could lift you up and maybe you can see something.
All right.
I'm gonna lift her up on my... Have a Badger climb down, and then I'll lift her up onto my shoulders so she can get a higher view to see if she recognizes the rune. Or, sorry, the pattern.
Yeah, the pattern. Should I make an Arcana check?
You can try.
That'd be better than what I can do.
The
know?
DC just got a lot higher because he already failed
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, I hate that. 18. Dang it.
You have a hard time deciphering it as well. Only thing that you're able to glean from it is it does have some form of somewhat magical significance, but of the nature of which you do not know.
It has some magical properties. Do you have like a paper and a quill I could use?
I don't.
Okay.
Or do I?
Did.
I have the map. We could write it on the back of the map if we need to, or I'm sure we could get some paper elsewhere.
It's weird. I thought I had an ink thing.
You do.
It's not showing up in
Oh.
my.
No, let's just say you do. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't throw any that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would. If any of us
the
use
wizard
that
has
To be able
for his-
To be able to describe.
yeah.
Yeah.
The wizard
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so definitely want to describe it. So
Mhm.
take
So-
whatever their shapes are and get it onto.
Yeah, and
A piece
with
of paper?
and with your investigation check earlier, you can recreate it to near perfection on that.
And then, after it's on, it probably won't work, but I am going to use identify on what I just wrote. Maybe something will happen.
Try it.
Might as
Try
well
it.
try it.
You
Worst thing that will
identify
happen
it
is
is it is ink and paper.
Yes. Mystery solved.
Ghost will look it over and just be like, perhaps Theranos might have a good idea what this is.
Yeah. Is there a mages guild or something to that effect in the town?
Almost maybe some library.
Yes, there is a town library, but Mages Guild, no. No wizards of note that I know about.
Do you think Dermos would, can you speak with him?
Can. And she'll like take out the address and just kind of wave it a little bit.
Okay, good. I assumed that was. I just didn't want to assume and then be wrong.
Fair enough. Okay.
But also, I was thinking too. What was the name of the band deity?
Belleroth.
Belleroth. Do you think the library would have any kind of information? I know it's a band research thing, but also it's important to keep historical documents related to it.
Whatever people have donated are there. As you can see, I can't exactly spare any men to check the library currently.
Right. But we could, if there is anything there, perhaps we could browse through it and see if we find anything similar to your drawing.
So to the library or to see someone else, Ghost?
Both. You can never have too much information.
Which one first? We shouldn't split up.
Ah. Well, it depends on where the library is in comparison to the address.
Upon looking at it and asking for the directions, they're in two opposite directions.
Which one's closer?
I don't know. Roll a dice.
I'll roll a D100. Anything above 50.
Make a decision, Gavin.
As we're sitting there pawning it off to Ghost.
99.
Which one did you choose for what?
I was going to be like, anything above 50 is the address, anything below 50
Okay.
is the library.
All right,
'Cause
so the
I thought
address
for
is
sure
closer.
I'd get a low one.
To the
Time to
address.
do a home call.
To the address. Let's go.
As you guys are heading out, are you sure you still want to participate? After
Yes.
seeing this,
We're gonna solve this thing.
We're just getting started.
Want to make sure this never happens again.
well, I wish you luck and I pray for your success.
If you catch wind of any other murders, any other leads or anything, just reach out to us. We are the Oddities. We'll be in the town for at least the next several days.
Of course. So,
Hoof it.
yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, let's hoof it.
Oh, I heard.
Oh.
I heard question, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, no.
I heard huff it.
Yeah, that's what I heard, Huffit.
I just heard question, and then it was silence. I'm like, so
Okay.
you follow the address and follow the directions towards it, and you end up on this hill that overlooks some of the town in a nicer place where the homes are gated off behind walls, fences, and gardens. And you come across this very nice, small compared to the other ones, but a very cozy looking manor.
Nice.
It's got a cast iron garden gate to a small courtyard leading up to two large dark wooden doors.
Do you want
It
to do the
seems,
honors,
uh,
Ghost?
This seems very nice.
He has good taste. she'll go. And she'll
Alright.
casually knock on the door.
The door opens, and you see this man in a dark suit, bald head with a beard that's braided. May I help you?
I believe this was sent to me. And she'll like hand over the address, the note.
Ah, of course. Welcome, my lady. And he opens the doors, And as you step inside, you're met with this beautiful foyer.
Rakos is investigating everything, just taking it all in. Must learn more about Ghost without intruding too much.
And so this man starts leading you. You may address me as Suit, for that is the name that was bestowed for me upon receiving this job.
Like him. I apologize.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Suit.
He doesn't
Right.
respond.
Suit is a meat suit.
Ghost just kind of pats one of Ivor's hands, just be like, "It's better that you ended up with me, not him."
Make a religion check.
All right.
With advantage.
Okay. 22.
22. You smelled it first. It's very very faint. Before you is a beard devil in disguise.
What is that? It's what he is, obviously.
A beard devil named Suit.
This home is officially the property of Deramos, recently acquired. And of course, that also means that you are the owner of the property. I am here to protect and maintain it, though I cannot leave the grounds.
I see. Is he here?
Currently, no.
Oh,
Of course. Does he plan to? He better.
Currently, no.
I see. Well, at least we have a base of operations.
much more comfortable than the box.
It is.
But
He knows what I like.
he would like to speak with you.
Oh, I have words.
This way. And he walks down and opens up a door into one room. This beautiful living room. And you see there's a cabinet on the far wall full of whiskeys and wines and a lit fireplace.
Could I have that drawing of yours? Better. For reference, just in case.
Can you not hear me?
Oh,
No.
I hear you now.
Oh, I said yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no, didn't hear that. So it's like
He's like,
he just starts T-posing.
Staring at the liquor cabinet.
Yes.
She'll take it, just be like,
So
So I guess we're not meeting him yet.
unfortunately, not yet.
And he's kind of like a little relieved. He's like, Oh, okay. Hopefully, it will be under better circumstances. You know, not right before learning of a murder.
50 murders.
Perhaps not in person,
Right.
at least.
I assume you wish to speak to him alone.
Well, Reikos, let's
Yeah.
go check out the garden.
And so you guys leave?
Yeah, go outside.
If Ghost wants to be alone, then yes.
Okay.
I would prefer it.
As you do, Suit goes, gestures towards the fire. You see some black weave of magic leave his hand as he speaks an incantation. Ostronegai. And the fire goes and bursts out as you see it begin to form a shape. And then the fire dies down as you see, made of pure smoke, familiar silhouette. Wings unfurl, stretch, and close back in. Hello, my love.
You're so dramatic.
It's all about presentation.
Too bad the others wanted to see.
Well, I'll have to plan something big for when they finally do.
Please do.
I hope you appreciate the new abode.
It's so much better than the box we were going to stay in. I appreciate it.
And I hope you appreciate your new help.
Should have let me know beforehand. I punched him in the face.
Ah. He was in the hells after all. I can't say it wasn't well deserved.
Unless he's made a personal grievance against me, I don't think so. Not from me. You know that.
Of course. Now, I apologize for not being able to be there in person, but let's just say I'm fighting a war on two fronts at the moment.
You've made progress.
Why, yes. I don't know who or what they're supplying, but to whom they are supplying, but the what? It seems that your brother has found himself a very talented artificer. Crimson Crown is now the leading weapons development on this side of Auroran. Of course, that's not public knowledge, but you know how I am with being able to get individuals to loosen their tongues.
I do. Thank you for keeping tabs while I'm away.
But as per our rather generous contract, The war on two fronts, I believe you are on front number 2 at the moment. You know me, my darling. Thanks to your loving guidance, I seek to bestow order onto where I roam. I've kept up in Snowville recently. Some uppity politicians are now quite more fair to their dear subordinates and subjects, and are less inclined to line their own pockets. But Eritrude, oh, someone there is dismantling my very hard work.
I wonder if it's the serial killer we're after.
It is possible, but I'm afraid my enemies aren't so trivial. If anything, he may be a puppet or a pawn.
Oh, I don't doubt that. What we're trying to do is help people feel more safe. Try to catch this killer, pawn or not. If we can get to the bottom of it, then we shall.
Of course. Yes, the people there, they have it hard enough as is without machinations destroying what they have. I feel somewhat responsible, as I fear that it is not a target on the people, but out of spite for me and my turning over of a new leaf.
Sounds like there's something you might want me to do while I'm here.
Suit will supply you with a spell scroll. It will bind an extraplanar entity to this realm so you can well and truly kill them, rather than forcing them back to their home plane.
Mm-hmm.
You find the fiend that is responsible for this, as I fear. Take care of him for me. And as per our contract, a nice reward will be waiting for you.
Right. Let's see what I can do. As always.
And darling, please be safe.
Oh, no, me. I melted the witch's face off. You should have been there. It was amazing.
I do not know the specific nature of what is to come, of who is behind this. But I do have several theories. But if it's not a competing devil, well, there are other entities that are not a fan of my philanthropic efforts.
Whatever it is, I'll find out. Easy way or difficult. Difficult is more fun.
Of course.
As for the killer, we happened across some... The serial killer likes to leave signs. And this particular one is in a pattern of magical nature. Wondered if perhaps you could look at it. See what you can discern.
Of course, my darling. Show me.
And she'll hold it down.
Oh my. Someone's been naughty. Well, this rune can have two sources. It's either infused with fiendish or fey magic. It seems that they are working to conjure something.
Rune that big. We might have something bigger to worry about over here.
It is possible. But I'm confident in your abilities.
The party I'm with is capable. Even if it's not short work, we will deal with it.
I hope you shall.
I hope when we can meet again is on a more happy occasion. Oh, and I did get those souvenirs you wanted.
Oh, lovely. You can send it to our Ebonwood address.
I mean, I got one and then a little special one I found along the way. I know you'll like it. All right. Let you get back to your noble work.
Oh. Oh dear. Darling,
Mm-hmm.
I would hate to cut our meeting short. But it appears I have visitors.
I see.
I will try to keep
It's-
collateral damage to a minimum.
Good man. I'll add that to your point list. Right. I'll let you go.
Of course. I love you, darling.
I love you too.
Before I depart, is there anything you wish of me?
Try to speak to me more often. The long silence still kills me.
Of course. Where will you be heading next? After your escapades in Eritrude?
We'll actually probably be going to Elkwind or North Peak.
I will try to have our schedules align.
If you're still in Snowdrift, Elkwind might be the better path. Easier, anyway.
Oh, darling, your concern for me warms my heart, but I think any path for me will be easy. Ta-ta! And the smoke disperses.
And she'll walk out of the room. Well, she'll give the bath salts and the amethyst geode suit. Like, send those to the Ebonwood address, please.
Of course, my lady. He takes those and disappears, and you hear him reappear somewhere else in the house.
Do you want to give him the painting too?
You're here?
Are you just looking through the window? Do you
Oh, I thought we were outside.
No.
Yeah, you guys were.
yeah,
I
Outside
wasn't.
the room.
Oh,
Yeah, I
outside
thought
the
we were
room.
outside the room.
Mm.
Well, I went
Well,
outside to the garden.
Yeah, he wanted
That's
to
what
go
I
to
said.
the garden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
playing
would have.
with
I was
rocks.
just gonna stay in the lobby.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
she'll
Doing a little
she'll be in
sand
the
thing.
lobby. Oh no, I would rather keep that on me because that was not for Dernos. That was for Ferris. So
Right.
if we encounter him, I'd like to give it to him personally, not send it to an address I know he's not going to be going to for a while. On an
Well,
unfinished
anything
ship,
exciting happen?
I learned a few things. I got another mission to add on top of our own, but it seems like it kind of aligns, so I shouldn't be too inconvenienced. We should get Badger.
Right. Badger.
Yes.
Just lean out the window.
Yes. I
She's
knock
done
over my
talking.
tower of rocks.
She's done talking. If you want to come inside.
Okay. I get up, dust myself off, and walk inside. So, what did we find out about that note, or about the glyphs? Or whatever
It
they were?
is a very special rune, either fiendish or fey in nature. It's a conjuring rune. Whomever it
What
is,
does it conjure? He doesn't know.
we don't know what people try to conjure. It could be anything. My guess is that it might be something big based on the size of the room. Or perhaps something more powerful that requires a larger area.
So we
I know
think
with
that
the,
the conjuring wasn't successful.
Well, I know with the druid circles back home, whenever they would create any circles as far as summoning, communing with the gods or whatever it may be in their religious practices, usually they would also have to give up offerings.
I'm assuming the bodies were the offerings.
My thoughts too.
Especially the one in the center.
And what if the others leading up to it were among the same? More a form of offering than...
And we have something large on our hands.
You said that you had another task to do as well?
Oh yes, I have a scroll here that binds a creature not of this plane to this plane. It binds it here, so I can kill it.
So the same one that Holda used. With that goat demon on her wall.
Yes.
I completely forgot about that. That was
Interesting.
fantastic. We'll have a story to tell her. Hulda, we did the same thing you did.
Do you think it has to do with this murderer or completely unrelated?
At first I thought it was unrelated. However, with the conjuring rune, it might be one and the same. Then again, the killer might be upon a form of distraction.
Do you know who you're supposed to use it on? Or what, I guess we could say.
Whatever thing that isn't bound to this plane.
Well, I mean, like Pax was saying, there's still remnants of demons and ghouls and things spread throughout everywhere. I would hate for us to accidentally use it on the wrong one.
So, Ghost, you would know that you'd only need to do it on a fiend, a demon, but if it's Fae, you kill the Fae, they die.
This is only for fiends. If it's a Fae, we wouldn't need this. So, whatever I'm looking for is a demon. Or something of fiendish nature.
So we need to use it on whatever got summoned through this ritual?
Perhaps, or what was already here. He
And
didn't know exactly.
I'm not well educated in these matters. Is the fiend the demon and devils, or is there... Like, I know there is a difference, but is a fiend, is that just another name for a demon specifically, or does it apply to devils as well?
God.
Fiends cover both. Devils
Fiends
and demons
cover-
are subtypes.
Both.
So fiend is just like a difficulty category?
A creature class?
That was a question.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it right! Yeah!
Yay!
All right. Well, tell me where to aim my hammer, and I'll hit it.
Did he have any idea of where we should look?
No. He's got his own problems. This is problem number 2. I'm sure he would have told me more in depth, but he had visitors. However, he might be joining us at some point. Either at Elkwind or North Peak.
Although I'm sad to have missed him, I'm also kind of happy that perhaps when we meet, it would be under better circumstances. My mind is heavy with the sight of what we just saw.
I think that maybe we should find another house of worship, and maybe another priest or something would recognize this room and know if it's attached to any other deities. What are your thoughts? If there's not a mage guild or anything like that, maybe somebody in the religious community would know what this meant.
Perhaps.
Bless you, Ray.
Thank you.
Did we still want to go to the library as well?
It wouldn't hurt.
Right. Well, we should get to it. Not waste time.
To the library.
Okay.
Okay, Sokka.
To the library. I was thinking the same thing.
If there's a giant owl, I'm leaving.
So, I will tell you this. You go to the library, and you would be spending the rest of the day there. But the knowledge of what you seek would not be located within.
Bummer.
Got it. It was worth a try. One of our only leads, so.
Ah, there were foxes in the library too. The foxy friends. Okay, well, back to the home base, I guess, whatever we want to call it.
Or do we want to? Well, actually, you said we burnt through the whole day.
Yeah, he's searching the whole
Okay.
library. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was exciting.
It was dull and drab, but it was worth the look.
I never liked that part of learning magic. I like
So
more
many
the hands-on
words hurt
stuff.
my eyes.
Right.
Well, what do you guys say that before we head back to the communal bunkhouse, we grab a drink?
There are drinks there. But sure.
Yeah, let's mingle a little bit. We might hear something at the tavern.
Fair
This
enough.
is true.
As we all know, taverns hold the best information.
And who knows, maybe we could find someone who would be willing to charter a ship.
That as well. Let's find out where the best tavern is. Or should we find the worst tavern?
Worst. Just keep your guard up and keep your pockets, or keep your money close.
I'll keep my mouth shut. Don't want to get us in too much trouble. So I guess we find a local person or a guard or somebody to ask directions for the least popular pub around.
Like the Miscreants Tavern, I guess you could say.
They point you towards a small pub
A pot to piss in.
called the Dagger's Hilt.
Daggers. Oh my gosh.
That was my second guess.
I want to encounter an inn that has that name now. The Dagger's Hilt.
The Dagger's Hilt. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Lux says that. Okay, guys. Oh. Hold on to your gold.
So,
Head to your weapons.
you finally find this small building that's kind of off on its own on the outskirts of town, kind of north of the docks. And as you're approaching, you see some of the other mercenaries that were kind of in the town helping apprehend people, and they're here, they're drinking, they're talking with each other. And as you enter in, just given your nobody really bats an eye at Reikos, however everybody's kind of turning and looking an eye in Ghost.
Eye candy Ghost. They're all looking at you.
More like she sticks out like a sore thumb. But
Just because I'm too fabulous for this place.
so, as you enter in, you see manning the bar is a large, gruff-looking half-orc. He's cleaning a mug as you enter in, and he kind of looks and eyes you. Guessing you're mercenary folk. Not many other patrons come on in here.
Yes.
No.
Come for a drink.
Right then. Be a copper each.
Pass over the copper.
And he doesn't even ask what kind of drink. He basically puts mugs out.
This is the drink.
Just slides them to you.
All right. Kind of like surveying the, I guess the tavern. Is there anyone that looks like, or what's the general vibe of the people? And, is there anyone that like sticks out as, what's the word? I guess, shaken. Like they've just seen a ghost or anything along those lines.
A lot of the people here look beaten and battle bruised.
Beaten and battle bruised.
But make an insight check.
Uh, 12.
Hard to tell with that. Because you notice there are some tough looking customers here, and then the ones that don't look so tough probably look like they were tough when they were the big fish in the little pond kind of a deal, are kind of shaken of some of the more scary people.
I'm gonna focus as I'm looking at everybody to find any tables or groups that are talking quietly, because obviously in a pub, you know, they're going to be talking quiet if they're, you know, they're beat up or whatnot. But anybody who's purposely trying to hide their voice, because most of these people should be jovial or, you know, loud and, you know, badgering each other. No pun intended. Yeah, I intended my pun.
As you're doing that, the bartender's just like, word of advice. Might not want to be delving too big into people's business. They might not take too kindly to it.
I'm not trying to hear anybody's conversations. Just taking a gander at people we get to work with over the next few days.
Just a suggestion, because regardless of your intentions, some of the folk here might not care for it. But do whatever the hells you want.
I would wanna position myself in like the middle of the room and just passively be listening. Like I basically just be like staring at the counter, taking a drink, but listening around me.
And I'm gonna see if anybody makes eye contact with me as I'm gonna be sitting from the bar, so with my drink, and I'm just gonna be looking, scanning the room. And anytime somebody makes eye contact, I'm gonna lock on them.
Perception check.
1 second. 16.
With the 16, you look around. And as you do, someone does lock eyes with you. A large orc wearing this scrappy looking scale mail. However, you do recognize something. A flail at his side looks awfully familiar.
Okay, one of the city guards off duty, huh?
Not in city
Not
guard.
one of.
Huh?
Bodyguard.
Or
The bodyguard of the mayor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, bodyguard. Nice. And I just, well, I'm not wearing a hat, but, you know, tip my hat to him. Keep drinking.
He breaks eye contact.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep staring at him. That's no purpose. Not worried. Just, you know, not what I'm looking for. But obviously, he recognized me because we previously met. So, anybody else that is in the room, I want to keep an eye on.
As you're looking around, that's the only person of interest that catches your eye.
Do I hear anything just in the passive conversation listening?
You hear people talking about the kills that they just got with their on the outskirts of town. Oh, fought a pack of gnolls and took them out. Got a nice hefty sack of gold for it. This elemental came through and froze him to the spot, and he barely broke out and escaped. Just about kills and everything, but go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Wait, I'm making the perception check?
No, Reikos.
Okay.
No.
I zoned out.
I only got an 8.
That's all you hear?
Do you point out the orc to me or no?
You're in the middle. I'm up at the bar. You're in the middle of the room. So I wouldn't be talking to you, but
At the table.
yeah.
Ghost, are you at the bar or are you at the table?
Good question. She'd be at the table. Not quite listening, but, you know, just wanting to sit at a table rather than a bar.
As you're sitting there, Ghost, there's this gruff-looking human man comes up wearing this thick breastplate with kind of leather gauntlets and boots. Comes up, and you could tell, flush in the face, he's inebriated. Hello, gorgeous. What you doing in a place like this?
And she'll like slowly turn to him. I'm taken.
Oh, I don't see nobody.
You don't have to see anybody.
Oh, don't be like that. Come on, look.
You would have better chances making out with a venomous snake than landing Ghost.
Did I ask you?
I suggest you leave.
How about you mind your own bloody business?
And how about you do the same?
You see him grit his teeth. He gets up. Walks past.
Ghost will put out her leg to trip him.
And the tavern brawl begins.
What I was about to say is he was going to launch a punch right at Reikos' face. But as he does, he's hits the ground. Boom.
Oops.
You see him get up.
You're not very steady on your feet, are you?
Look, I know tensions are high. You've had a bit to drink. There's nothing wrong with shooting your shot. I'm just saying, please leave my friend alone. Here, I'm gonna toss him a copper. Get some food on me. Or a drink, I don't care.
He stumbles off.
Sorry I ruined your fun, Ghost.
Oh no, you multiplied it.
Well, he kind of looks around the room. How does one go about hiring for the job that we want to do later? I gotta be honest, this kind of stuff is new to me.
I will save you the embarrassment, but I usually just go into the tavern and just shout, "Is there anyone who can do X thing?" It usually works.
Now, that being said, don't we want to be a bit more discreet with what we want to do?
That is the case. Then again, most of them won't even remember it happening.
Well, I guess we can also ask the tavern keep. I'm sure he's seen many people come through here.
That's another good plan.
Let's go.
Either one works for me.
Let's go join Badger at the bar.
All right.
Sit down next to you.
And I've been sipping, so I haven't even finished half of my first beer. Plus, it's not very good, so.
Yeah, it's not.
Ghost is still almost gone.
Yeah, tavern should be called the other thing. Anyway, so I didn't notice anybody that was. I'm telling them this. I didn't notice anybody that was really out of sorts. Everybody just kind of looks disheveled and trying to forget their day. I don't think anything's happening from here. I saw something interesting happening to you, Ghost. What was up with that?
Oh, just some drunk guy trying to flirt with me.
Sure he wasn't.
He
flirting
didn't
with
even
Rangos?
try. He didn't even try to flirt with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Missed
Such a
opportunity, I
shame.
guess.
I know.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
Okay. Well, should we tuck in for the night and head to a church tomorrow?
I do want to ask the tavern keep one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me, sir.
Need a refill?
No, I'm still working on mine at the moment. I was just wondering, because you see a lot of patronage here. We're trying to potentially hire a crew to man a ship. I guess you could say the job is of questionable origins and things, but we need discretion is required. Would you happen to know anybody or point us in the right direction?
If that's the case, you don't want a crew. You want discretion, you just want one person that knows what they're doing.
And do you know who said person might be?
You want to find Old Man Griggs, lives down by the docks.
Old Man Griggs. Old Man Griggs. Lives at the
He was an army sailor back in the day, and now, well, he's not. He was dishonorably discharged, so he might be the ticket you're looking for.
That is actually very useful information. I appreciate it. And to consider this a tip as a thank you for your discretion. I'm just going to hand him a silver.
He looks down at it, looks back up at you, takes it, slides it over to himself. Yes, people here value discretion.
Ghost, you look tired.
I always look this way. It's my face.
Okay, well, I'm ready to head out.
Hit the wrong button.
Did it cancel the stream?
No, we're still good.
Whoa! Our sleep
All right,
was
that's the
intense.
episode. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna take a nap ourselves. Real-time nap.
Okay, head back to the main base.
we
Unless
go.
there's anything
Looking
else you want
around. Should we talk to Mr. Bodyguard over there?
About what?
I don't know.
to. Well, he did lock eyes with me earlier. Recognized me. He didn't seem to be looking at you two.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, he didn't lock eyes like that. But I guess I can go charm some information out of it. Let's go. And Badger heads over.
Oh, I'd like to see this.
As you
Did anybody get his name?
No.
Okay, well, this is gonna be fun.
Is he at the table by himself?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn back around and go back to the barkeep. Do you have anything stronger than what you gave us? Any other
I've got.
special reserves?
I can give you 2 mugs.
2 mugs. Okay, let's do 2 mugs. And toss him 2 copper, and a third one for his effort.
Service.
Yeah.
Right? You grab
What?
the mugs.
Let's just say I give him a full silver. How about that? That'll make it easier.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Grab the 2 mugs. Head over to the table. And is the orc with anybody else?
No.
No. Okay, so he's by himself. So walk up, not behind him, but around so he can see me. And when I get to the other edge of the table, or the opposite end of the table, mind if I sit here, sir?
I do.
You do mind? Okay. So I slide one of the drinks over to him. You still mind?
A little less so.
I slide the second drink over to him. A few minutes of your time?
Few.
Okay. And then I pull out the chair and have a seat. So
I assume we go join him too, right? Or were you wanting to go by yourself?
I don't know what you guys were doing.
He
I
didn't say either way, so that's up to you.
Then yes, I went with.
Well, Ghost said she wanted to see how this was going to turn out. So I'm guessing she's following along as well.
Yeah.
So, without prying too much, how long have you been in the service of the... What is he, the...
Oh.
He leans in. Discretion.
Oh. Okie dokie. Is this your favorite pub?
No, it's a shithole.
Amen.
Let's see. Discretion. Well, knowing that In your profession, you probably make enough money to not have to frequent these places.
You see his jaw clench.
And I'm talking quietly, so Lux would be whispering. Is there a particular reason for your visit to this tavern?
Or anything that we can help with.
I thought you were looking into the murders.
We are.
Are?
Part of the reason why we're here.
Seems to me all these events that are happening may all be connected to destabilize whatever is going, or whatever government or society you have here. So, whatever we're looking into, it's probably connected to whatever other said people here may be looking into.
It would be helpful to have the insight of locals.
Not here. Mayor's office tomorrow morning.
We'll be there. What time?
10 a.m., I guess.
And
I like
and
to have my morning
I
coffee.
tilt my head. This one likes to sleep in, so 10 a.m. should work. Point to Ghost. She doesn't need her beauty sleep. She just revels in it.
Guilty.
Well,
I assume we can leave you then. Have a nice night. We're going to go turn in.
That would be wise.
okay. Head out.
All right. So,
And
One thing on the way back, though, especially as it's getting later into the night and everything.
it's
I
late,
would-
late.
Exactly. Because we did make ourselves known in the town square, I want to be actively watching to see if we're being followed or
that's
anything.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, we are keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
So, Reikos, are you the one driving the cart?
Yeah.
So I will be.
So you watch the back, I'll watch the sides.
Yep, I'm gonna sit up on the like in between, so and be facing backwards, and just keeping an eye out in the dark.
Make perception checks.
– 15.
19.
Nice.
And I have dark vision.
Oh, that means I have to roll at disadvantage unless the streets are lit up.
Or unless Ghost provides some fire. Which she probably would. For his sake. Because he is kind of driving.
You don't see
I'm
anybody.
sure that-
Oh yeah. You don't see anybody tailing you. So you make it back to the manor safely.
That was said so suspiciously.
I know.
You don't find any traps.
You don't see anybody tailing you.
You think it's an empty room. You're pretty sure.
We're not afraid of being alone in the dark. We're afraid of not being.
I love the inconclusive answers.
Yeah,
I know.
And
Just like
so
Ghost.
you make it. You make it back to the manor. There is a guest bedroom with 2 beds for Rakos and Badger, and of course Ghost, you get the master bedroom. Did any of you actually, Badger, make a wisdom saving throw for me?
16.
As a sleep takes you, Badger, you awake with a start. You felt something try to worm its way into your head, and you felt the impulse. Rakos asleep in the next bed over. Cut him open. Rip his flesh. Cut off those hands. Stab him to death with his own horns. These are not your thoughts. As you investigated crime scene, feels like maybe you caught that idea like an infectious disease.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end it.
My Mala warning. Ding, 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 ding.
It's just me, Rakos.
But you succeeded the wisdom save.
Oh,
Doesn't mean I
God.
can't choose to act on it.
Yeah, fair. But thank you to everybody who thank you to everybody who was watching today, those who lurked, those who participated in chat. So yeah, just another quick shout out to our Patreon. Got some cool benefits there. Also, go support Tabletop Audio, and thank you for their generosity in allowing us to use the audio for the stream. Absolutely incredible stuff that they make. And before we go off, Badger, can you thank our Patreon, please?
Fan, can I sit by you for a minute? Just want to have a little chat, see if you got any information. We're so grateful that you've been helping us out. We need a small favor. Bring some friends. We're going on a ship. We need you. We need you. Thanks for helping us.
All right. Thank you. One last time. I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you all in the next episode in Eritrude, the City of Troubles. Bye bye.